What if I told you that everything you think you know about meditation is missing a huge piece? What if accessing other realities isn't just something that happens in your mind, but actually happens in your body, more specifically, not in your whole body, but in one single bone, an ancient, overlooked, and sacred bone that cultures long ago honored deeply without words, and it's probably a part of you don't even notice. This video isn't just some mystical story, it's a revelation. We're about to dive into a practice that's as powerful as it is forgotten. It's not about visualization or imagination or sitting quietly waiting for silence. It's about moving your body in a way that opens portals. Yes, actual portals, because certain movements do more than stretch muscles. They awaken memories. The bone we're talking about was called by ancient peoples the throne of the soul. It's in your spine, but it's unlike the others. It's strong and dense, almost like a sacred stone, and at the same time, it holds a fire that never goes out. The ancients didn't find this in books. They found it through dance, ritual walks, shared silences under the moon, ceremonies where the soul wasn't talked about but deeply felt. In this first part of the video, I'll bring you to the edge of that knowledge. We'll explore the mystery of this bone, how I discovered it, how I felt it come alive inside me, and why I believe this small physical gateway can completely change the way you see the world. Because true spirituality isn't about rising up, it's about coming down. Not about escaping the body, but about fully inhabiting it so that the veil between worlds grows thin. That's what the ancients did. They didn't meditate. They moved this bone and crossed over. You're about to find out which bone it is, why moving it is a hidden key, and how you can start experiencing it yourself. But first, we'll go back to the roots, to caves, to myths, to the bodies of wise ones who danced without thinking and let their bodies guide them beyond what they could see. Get ready. What you're about to hear isn't a new technique, it's an ancient truth, an echo that's always been inside you and is finally waking up. In ancient cultures where wisdom wasn't written down but passed through the body, there was sacred knowledge that faded as reason became the only authority. This knowledge didn't come through words or doctrine. It came through bodily memory, the silent language of bones, gestures, and breath. Among all parts of the human body, one was seen as the most sacred, the sacrum. It's no accident, its name means sacred. Sitting at the base of your spine, at the pelvis, this triangular bone connects you to the earth and the sky. The ancients viewed it as the anchor of vital energy, the spot where consciousness could be awakened, not by thinking, but through movement. Not just any movement, but intentional ritual movement that vibrates. In African traditions, wise elders known as interworld walkers performed spiral dances that shook the base of the spine. They didn't dance just for art, they danced to open inner portals. In those vibrations, energy would rise like an ancient fire, waking up dormant parts of perception. In Mesoamerica, the Nahualism tradition taught that certain repeated devoted movements reactivated an original code in the body. They didn't call it by Western anatomical names, but they knew everything started at the base, from what they called the throne of the spirit. They didn't do yoga poses or sit silently. They moved their axis. Even in Egypt, resurrection rituals weren't only spiritual. They focused on the spine and its base, believing the soul returned through the Jed pillar, a symbol linked to the sacrum and its vertical energy. What had to stay upright wasn't just the body, it was consciousness. Later, medieval alchemists called the sacrum the crucible of the spirit in flesh, saying the serpent of remembrance slept there. Not a demon, but a symbol of primal energy that, when unleashed, brought vision, strength, and a direct link to hidden reality. So if it was so important, why don't we talk about it anymore? because the knowledge of the body as a temple was suppressed, because realizing you have a natural way to expand consciousness inside you threatens systems of control. Because if you can reach other realities without anyone in between, without dogma or rules, then you're free. And the sacrum, that forgotten bone, holds that power to free you from within. Moving it isn't just exercise, it's alchemy in motion. This is where spirituality becomes real, where technique turns into ritual, and the body, far from being a cage, reveals itself as the true portal. Imagine your body not just as a biological machine, but as sacred architecture, not a container, but a tool, where every joint, bone, and vibration works like cosmic gears. Now imagine inside that architecture, there's a forgotten command center, a place where you can activate not just life energy, but the ability to cross between the seen and unseen. That place is the sacrum, and moving it with awareness isn't gymnastics, it's a ritual. Hidden wisdom teaches that the sacrum is like a vibrational key. When it's activated, it sends out a frequency that wakes up dormant pathways in your nervous system, lights up brain areas usually offline, and shifts how your consciousness interprets reality. This isn't fantasy, it's expanded perception. Most people live trapped in their heads, thoughts, judgments, ideas. Some get down to the heart, but very few reach the sacrum. Why go down? Because energy doesn't start flowing upward from the mind. It begins at the root. The sacrum is the primal drum. When it moves, it sets the rhythm for an energetic symphony that travels up the spine, through the chakras, and ends at the crown. But here's the secret: if you don't activate the drum, there's no symphony. How do you actually move the sacrum? It's not about shaking it violently or following some strict technique. The movement is circular, flowing, serpentine, like you're tracing invisible spirals in the air with your pelvis. Ancient dances understood this. The hips didn't move just for sensuality. They moved to awaken something deeper. Every pelvic movement sends a pulse straight to the sacrum. And when that pulse is steady, rhythmic, and mindful, the bone starts to vibrate. That vibration isn't like a physical shake. It's much more subtle. You feel it as an expansion from within, a gentle warmth, a sense that something is shifting at the very core of your being. That's when your body begins to remember, not memories or thoughts, but the raw feeling of being alive at the source. And it doesn't stop there. As you keep moving with devotion, not force, you'll start noticing shifts in your breathing, your mental state, and how you experience space. Time slows down, your attention turns into effortless presence, and if you keep at it, something even deeper unfolds. Reality itself begins to open up. People who've practiced this say that after just minutes of conscious sacral movement, they start perceiving things beyond the ordinary. Inner lights that aren't coming from outside, subtle sounds inside their head, a sense of oneness with everything, and in more advanced stages, spontaneous visions, archetypal memories, or brief glimpses into other dimensions of consciousness. It's not about controlling what happens. It's about tuning into a vibrational doorway. The key thing to understand is that you're not creating anything new. You're clearing interference and activating a forgotten function. The sacrum is the sacred drum of the soul, and by consciously moving it, everything inside you starts to dance. Once the sacrum is activated and its vibration spreads, the whole body enters what ancient traditions called the threshold. This isn't a trance or simple relaxation. It's a deep shift in how you perceive reality. In this state, the line between inside and outside, real and symbolic, starts to blur. What opens up isn't just energy, it's a portal, and that portal doesn't lead beyond, like many religions say, but to a dimension that's always here, just out of reach of everyday consciousness. Ancient initiates, whether temple priestesses of Isis, Toltec sages or Druid mystics knew that waking the sacrum wasn't a game, because what you awaken isn't just energy, it's interdimensional memory. The body remembers things the mind can't grasp, places you've never physically been, knowledge you've never studied, archetypes alive and active. Many describe encounters with beings of light, moving symbols, living geometries, even the feeling of being absorbed by an intelligence bigger than words, teaching simply through presence. And in those moments, something radical happens. Your identity starts to dissolve, not lost, but transformed. Your usual self, your name, your story, your ego, shrinks to a spark beside the sun. And what rises in its place is the eternal observer, pure consciousness. But here's why wisdom matters. Moving the sacrum without preparation and grounding can open more than you're ready for. The portal doesn't discriminate. If you have unhealed wounds, toxic beliefs, or buried trauma, they may come up too, not to punish you, but to face you. That's why the ancients stayed silent. Power needs guidance. So every activation should follow 3 key principles. 1. Emotional grounding. You can't rise if you're not rooted in the earth. Before exploring other realities, make sure your body feels like home, not a battlefield. Sacral movement works best when you're connected to your breath, your heart, and your emotional balance. 2. Clear intention. The sacrum responds to intention. It's not a machine, it's a living altar. Moving it without focus is like lighting a fire in the dark, without knowing what you're after. Define your goal. Clarity, healing, vision, and the portal will respond with the matching vibration. 3. Ritual containment. The wise knew every portal needs a frame. The space where you practice should feel sacred, even if it's simple. Turn off distractions, create a circle of energy with things that matter to you. Stones, symbols, fire, water. This container protects, amplifies, and organizes the energy you activate. This practice isn't just for spiritual seekers. It's for anyone ready to remember that the body isn't the soul's prison, but its gateway. And the sacrum, that quiet, steady bone, is the hinge of that gateway. When moved with awareness, the soul doesn't travel outward. It comes home to its origin, its voice, its inner knowing. And you, who live in that body, start to see with eyes beyond the physical and hear the world beneath the world. Once you realize your body isn't just matter, but a living temple, everything changes. What used to feel automatic, walking, sitting, breathing, takes on new meaning, almost ritualistic, because it's no longer about just surviving, but truly inhabiting yourself, making every movement a tool for awakening. And if you've made it this far, if this knowledge resonates with you like a bell ringing inside, then it's time to do more than just listen. It's time to practice. Sacral movement isn't some secret technique reserved for cave dwellers or monks. It's a tool you can bring into your daily life, as long as you approach it with intention, respect, and consistency. Here are 5 practical ways to weave this wisdom into your routine without turning your whole life upside down, but allowing it to shift from within. 1. Create a daily sacred moment. You don't need a full hour. Sometimes just 7 minutes right after waking or before bed will do. Find a quiet spot, stand or sit with a straight spine, close your eyes and bring your attention to your sacrum. Breathe into it, then start gentle, circular, flowing pelvic movements. Don't overthink it, just feel. Make this your daily sanctuary, your appointment with your body and soul. 2. Walk with sacral awareness. What if every step you took was like a drumbeat vibrating from your core? Walking can become a sacred practice if you bring your focus to the sacrum. Feel its movement with each step and walk slowly as if you're drawing invisible patterns on the earth. This simple practice can turn ordinary walking into a powerful portal of connection. 3. Listen to tribal music and let your body respond. Certain rhythms, especially shamanic drums or ancestral tunes, are designed to awaken your body's intelligence. When you listen and let your sacrum move naturally with the music, without forcing or thinking, you tune into an ancient frequency. Your body knows what to do if you just give it permission. 4. Move before key moments. Before speaking in public, having an important conversation, or making a tough decision, move your sacrum. Just 5 minutes of pelvic movement realigns your center, eases anxiety, and reconnects your instincts with your vision. It's a way to align your energy before any big step. 5. Turn it into a moving meditation. Not everyone can sit still for an hour of meditation, and not everyone needs to. But everyone has a body. If your mind won't quiet down, start by moving. Let the sacrum guide a meditation in motion. You can reach deep states without staying still. Sometimes movement is the best way into silence. Remember, your body isn't a barrier to spiritual growth. It's the oldest, purest, most honest tool you have. The sacrum is its forgotten center, and by moving it with reverence, you become a dancer between worlds. You don't need to isolate yourself or wait for a master. Your body is your teacher, your sacrum the key, and your life the temple. We've reached the end of this journey, but really, it's just the beginning, because what you've learned isn't kept alive by ideas, but by movement, presence, and living vibration. I haven't given you another theory or just a practice to tick off. What we've shared is an act of remembering, a rescue of what was never really lost, just overlooked. The sacrum has been with you since day one. It was the first bone formed in the womb. From it, the spine grew, and from the spine, everything else. It's the base, the root, the sacred drum marking the rhythm of your being. It's no surprise many traditions called it the throne of the soul because it's where consciousness rests quietly and where it rises when it's ready to move. Remember those times you looked for answers in books, courses, gurus, complicated techniques, and still felt something was missing? Maybe what was missing wasn't more information, but the experience of becoming your body, inhabiting your temple, waking the hidden door. And that door isn't on some faraway mountain or lost temple. It's inside you. It moves with you, and it's waiting. You might have doubts. Your mind might try to explain it all away. A part of you might ask, is this really real? To that part, just say, watch, try, feel, because the truth of the body doesn't need defending. It reveals itself through direct experience. Moving the sacrum consciously doesn't just shift your energy. It changes the way you see the world. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop surviving and begin inhabiting. You stop running from yourself and start meeting yourself. And that, my friend, is the true awakening. Not a sudden flash of light, but a daily practice. Moving, feeling, falling, returning, breathing, dancing, until one day, without even realizing it, you're no longer searching for portals because you've become one. If this message has touched something inside you, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with others ready to remember, because every soul that wakes up helps awaken many more. In a sleeping world, your movement can be the spark that ignites other memories. Thank you for walking this path with me. Always remember, your body isn't just the vessel of the soul. It is the soul incarnate, and when it moves with devotion, reality itself begins to dance with you.